On the first day of campaign, seeing the bad conditions, they asked for evacuation, but new order came for them. Dig until you are safe. They start dig and they dug nearly 300 kilometers long tunnels and trenches. 300 kilometers means it is the way from here to Istanbul, from Sydney to Canberra, when you calculate. But they dug it all around peninsula, like first line, behind second, third, fourth. In 1950 they were going till the beach, but we can't see all of them because by grave commission they used them as a grave mainly. Here is one of the trench lines. Original size of a trench, they were 2 meters deep, 1.5 meters wide. But because of erosion, they just 1 meter deep they are. When you check the maps, you can see here is the beginning of ANZAC Front line. But the Turkish front line starting under the route, under the buses. It was so close, but sometimes just 8 meters close to each other. They were eating, sleeping and taking rest in their trenches. But 8-10 meters in front of you, your opponents are starting. How could you eat, sleep or take rest? They were using mainly hand grenades. Hand grenade to hand grenade. But when they got bored, throwing hand grenades to each other, they threw each other chocolate, cigarettes, maybe Vegemite, and sometimes letters. In one of these letters, one ANZAC soldier was asking, how many kilometers away from here to Istanbul? Turkish soldier answered in English by saying, if you go on this speed to digging, you will reach Istanbul 3 years later. But this story came true 3 years later in 1918. Allied reached Istanbul, and after the armistice, they captured Istanbul. Because the trench lines were too close to each other, there are also different friendships starting between the soldiers and lots of different stories. For example, there was a man in a Turkish trench who was singing very well. Every night over 10 p.m. he was coming to the trench line and singing song for Turkish soldiers. But because the trenches were too close to each other, ANZAC soldiers also listened to these songs. After some time, it started to become a popular man. Every night over 10 p.m. some ANZACs coming to the front line to listen to beautiful songs. It was too dangerous, too risky. They couldn't understand the words, but the melody was very touchy for them. After some time, they couldn't listen to these songs again. They wrote a letter by asking, what happened to the man who's singing well? We are listening to him. Answer came back by saying, 2 days ago, he died. Probably he was singing the famous Çanakkale song. I'm sure in your country there are lots of battle songs. When you listen to them, you're being sad, upset, sometimes crying. In Turkey, the most touchy battle song was Çanakkale song. Because of the city Çanakkale, the name of Gallipoli campaign is Çanakkale Battle in Turkey. Firstly, I will translate the song to English, then try to sing it for you. In the city Çanakkale, while I was fighting, they shoot me. But before I died, they buried me. Oh, my poor young. Inside the city Çanakkale, there is a long tree. Some of us engaged, some of us married. Oh, my poor young. Inside the city Çanakkale, there is a full cap. Fathers, mothers lost their hopes about their sons. Oh, my poor young. Çanakkale içinde vurdular beni. Ölmeden mezara koydular beni. Of, gençliğim eyvah. Çanakkale içinde bir uzun selvi. Analar babalar ümidi kesti. Of, gençliğim eyvah. Something like that. Oh, pleasure. You can send the flowers to the hotel. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, they were using this kind of underground tunnels to communicate with next line behind. Food, water and warm the soil were transferring with the help of them. In 1915 probably it was open, but today it's closed. Just 1 meter later it collapsed and the timbers and the barbed wires added later to stop the erosion. If you want, after finish taking photos, you can follow me. I would like to show you the most fantastic view of Peninsula and some other trench lines. That's it. ANZAC was landing between these three hills. This famous Shrapnel Valley. On your right you can see yellow memorial red flag, this Turkish memorial. Left you can see the pine trees on the ridge, that area called as Neck. Right part of the Neck there is another valley called as Monash Valley, after the famous Australian commander General Monash. On your right you can see top of Sphinx, and the right part of Sphinx, the Salt Lake and the Suvla Bay. What was the plan? Well, Turkish soldiers beat Australians at Long Pine and at Neck. They will land on Suvla Bay and will attack up the Chunubur Hill. Where is Chunubur Hill? You can see the top red flag over there. ANZAC was here. Objective was there, it was too small. And something about vegetation, there are much more trees than today. Sometimes soldiers cut them for range, sometimes they destroy by the bombardment. But after Gallipoli campaign, these wild ones planted themselves and the pine trees planted by the government. But in 1994, there was a big bushfire here. It was really hard to control it because everywhere was full of with unexploded bullets. When they explode, fire got bigger, bigger. Under the fire, one man lost his life, the forestry area manager. In the museum you have seen his photo. While looking up Chunubur Hill on the edge of the route, I will show his statue. So after the fire, these planted themselves and the big ones by the government. After finish taking photo, we'll take another way. I want to show you some more trenches. This is a cemetery you can visit, but it's never interesting when you compare with others. Johnson's Jolly Cemetery. I think not much interest for Australia. Why? Because in Australia sometimes you are using opposite meaning words. For example, if a man is tall, how do you call him?
What's that?
Sure. If a man is tall, how do you call him in Australia?
Shorty.
Shorty.
Yeah.
If a man has red hair,
Bluey.
blue. If a man is not very clever, smarty, brilliant, Einstein.
Yeah, Einstein.
Okay, gentlemen, this question to you. After an excellent meal, what do you say to your wives or to your moms?
Bloody good food.
It means very bad,
No, very good.
but opposite. Okay, old diggers used to say, not too shabby. Australian Commander Johnson calling his soul like that. Jolly up! Jolly up! To make them cheer up, or else how can they cheer up? Yeah. Then this area's name became Johnson's Jolly area. When they built the cemetery there in 1919, put the name Johnson's Jolly Cemetery. But the Johnson's Jolly Cemetery contains the bones of the soldiers, which are collected by the commission from the areas. In 1919, when the Grave Commission came here, unfortunately everywhere was full of with bones, skulls, skeletons. Because during the campaign, they couldn't find enough time or chance to bury all of them separately in a deep graves. Sometimes they were buried together in the mass grave. But when the 4 years period passed, slowly they started to appear and they were everywhere. No chance to end DNA test, so what they do, they collect all the bones, put them together and bury them some places. John's Joe Cemetery was one of them. So opposite story, opposite name again. Okay, after finish taking photo, we'll go to see a Turkish cemetery. Thank you.
Yeah.